All right, everyone. When they take you aside in the hospital about your elderly relative and say, hey, we've got to have a chat. You know that you're probably not about to get good news. It's probably going to be, hey, he's terminal or something like that. That's basically what's happening with the Democratic Party of today on two different levels, by the way. This article mainly talks about the concept of gerontocracy within the Democratic Party. So the idea the politicians are elderly, basically, which is true. Absolutely. I would point out that most Republican politicians are also, on the older side. It's just a little bit disproportionate. The Democrats have indeed become the party of the old. What isn't mentioned so much is voter demographics. The Democratic Party has managed to lose an enormous amount of support among the youth, to the point where, at least among males, the youth vote almost went to the Republicans in the last election. And keep in mind, of course, Orange Man bad. If you can get dogpiled by an absolute tidal wave of propaganda, and you yourself are old, Donald Trump is in his late 70s, so admittedly, he is elderly, getting completely hammered by every aspect of the legacy media on level red, simply because, Orange Man bad, and they're desperate to stop you from retaking office. And you still end up almost winning parts of the youth vote, almost winning the Latino vote, for example, Hispanic males, and so forth. I would say that that is evidence that the youth is fleeing the Democratic Party. Now, let's wonder why. Could it be that the Democrats want to make the military weaker while also going to war with multiple nations? Well, yeah, for young males, that might be something that they would think about when they cast their vote, I'm sure, as opposed to Trump, who wants to make the military strong and then use it only reluctantly. I think that one of these is going to be more of a popular idea than the other. How about on taxes? One party wants you to be unable to afford a home for your entire life. You're going to live in the pod and eat the bugs. You won't really have a choice because there'll be nothing but mealy worms to eat anyway. So once they cut meat production, you're going to need your protein somewhere. The other party is saying, hey, let's cut taxes. I like, and we're going to have to talk about the big beautiful bill and the budget adjustments, by the way, because you're getting the same fear mongering that you get like perennially from people on the left with regards to it. Oh my God, they're going to get rid of Medicaid. Oh, Social Security will be gone. The poor will pay more. The rich will pay less. Oh shit, they're doing the Republican thing. Very interesting. You could read the text of the bill, but most people are too fucking bored with the topic or don't have the time to do so. Yeah, so one party appears to be poised to raise taxes if they have control. The other one wants to either generally leave the budget alone or do what Trump is doing and attempt to lower taxes. Well, which one's going to be more popular among people that are in the lower classes? Probably the latter. What about the border? That's a unifying issue. Um, and so especially, I mean, young people, they benefit from having a closed border too, because then there will actually be jobs for them. They'll be low paying, but when you're just barely entering the workforce and you're 17 years old, you don't need to be competing with somebody who came across the Rio Grande and is 40 and has 20 years experience in flipping burgers or something like that. Um, so I would say there's a reason, well, multiple reasons why the youth has fled the Democratic Party. And part of it is the age of the politicians themselves. They have tried so hard to astroturf against this eventuality. Look at David Hogg, for example. Well, he's relatively young. I don't even know if he's in his 30s yet. He's relatively young. He can speak, unlike half our politicians. Just look at Joe Biden, for example. Maybe this will help us with the youth vote. We'll get him in there, and he'll make memes and Twitter posts and stuff. It'd be like those Republicans over there with their, and it'll be basically like Elizabeth Warren's meme team, only semi-organic because Hogg will do it, he would do it for free just for the extra clicks probably because he's a warped asshole. I remember when people could get banned for criticizing him. Back before he was 18, you couldn't even criticize him on YouTube without risking getting banned. I thought that was so goddamn funny. He lasted a short period of time as the vice chair of the DNC. Then they realized, in their dim minds, it dawned on them. Simply having somebody young as one of the faces of the party is actually, believe it or not enough to get youth votes. Wow, it's almost like people are rejecting our actual core ideology and that the kids are actually all right. They're more studious, I think, than millennials at this point, the Gen Z is. And so the new rising generation arguably is a little bit more aware of what the hell's going on than we were at the same time. We were all befuddled by propaganda back in the Bush-Obama administrations. And finally, we got rid of the Bush-Obama types, relapsed, our cancer relapsed, and then now we got Trump again. So we're, trying chemotherapy for a second round. That's about all. Peace out.